So this is my latest video, and this is a live, my first live that I'm doing on the channel. So I hope this is uploading correctly. And this particular video I'm doing is about signs from the universe and how spirit communicates with you. So I have been doing my notes. I've been writing a lot up on this for you guys because I find it easier that way. So I'm just gonna check one moment. I'm back. Yes, so I'm just getting my notes up for you guys. I'm just checking that I'm actually on the live right now. So yeah, how our spirit teams communicate with us. So firstly, I just want to welcome everyone to my channel, all my existing members, subscribers, family. So whenever you guys get to watch this, that will be amazing. And I hope this video really helps you. And I hope you enjoy and find the information I share. And I share from my own personal experiences and beliefs. So everyone I know will have their own experiences and beliefs, but these are just my personal ones that I'm sharing with you. So when I use the term the universe, for me, I mean that as a greater power that operates around us, through us and above us. Some may also use a term such as God or the creator or a higher power, the most high, but I'm sure we can all agree that it's basically an energy that works throughout the universe. So for me, when I use the term as well with you spirit team, for me, a spirit team is made up of spirit guides, spirit teachers, ascended masters, angels, and ancestors. And they are in spirit form. And they are there to help us for our highest good. And they operate on a free will basis. So they cannot control our lives or, you know, help us without our consent and request. Their purpose is to guide and support us. So if you call upon them, of course they will help and work with you. So I'm just checking, I think I just got a little comment in there. Guys, you're gonna know me already. I am not the best with technology. I want to respond. So how can I respond? Oh, enter text for chat. Hey. Okay, I think it responded. Let's see. Video mode only. Oh, I have to swipe the other side for comments. I mean, they really make this hard for me. Well, I'm sure I'm gonna figure it out soon. Yay, I figured it out. Got it. Great. Okay. Okay, so I got it. I think I worked it out now. Public. My video is public. Anyone can view. Check. Check. Yeah, this is just a natural thing, you know, like if I'm not used to using it, so I have to get used to it, you know? Right, so back to my notes. Sorry guys, bear with me. So yes, as I was saying, we all have divine free will over our choices in life. And, you know, we can always call on our spirit team and ask for help and guidance, which is, you know, always ask and make sure it's for your highest good. And that is the same with calling on your spirit team. Ask only for those who are for your highest good, as you want only the purest and highest vibrational beings helping you and guiding you. Because, you know, you may have, for instance, ancestors, loved ones that you've lost, and they may still be with you and around you, but do you particularly want them on your your spirit team. You know what I mean? If maybe on earth they weren't the best of souls or the best of people, this is not to say that in a bad way, but say they might not have been great with money, for instance, you know, then they may help and guide you, but it may not be for your absolute highest good. So it's finding, you know, it's finding that balance, basically, that balance for sure. So now, to many, they will not be visible with the naked eye, but I will be sharing how you can sense their communication and presence. And signs you may receive, most importantly, is to always keep an open mind to all possibilities. And once I have shared, I do have my cards here, so if anyone is on the live, I can pull you some cards or a little mini reading afterwards. And that's just a way for me showing thanks and support. So yeah, just thanks and support for basically supporting my channel. So it's just my oracle cards I use, and it can be a really nice way to get a message, receive guidance, or if you have a question, it can help you gain clarity in that area. So the first thing I will mention for you is setting an intention to meet your spirit team. So you may want to start a conversation, relax, do a meditation, and be open to any messages, signs, visions, feelings, or thoughts that come through. I have done this before and received answers, such as what they are there to help me with, and sometimes their name or what they look like. And the possibilities are endless, and this should feel comfortable and relaxing. So you can do that in the form of a meditation by setting your intention that you want to meet your spirit team, or have they got a message for you, or a message to come forwards with. So if you relax into that, you have to allow the visions or interpretations or messages to come through, and that can take some time to get comfortable with that. Now, another way they will communicate with you is your dreams. Now, those of you that know me, I am big on dreams. Dreams are always a big, strong theme for me. I get premonitions, I get messages, I get guidance. Every day I wake up and there is something in my dreams. And there used to be an old, kind of, I think it's a native saying, but you know, if you woke up and didn't remember your dream, you didn't do a good enough job, so go back to sleep because you need to remember it, because that would be your guidance that would be helping you through. So when you get these dreams and visions, they are a really strong way of communication. And for me, I set intentions every night before I go to sleep with my spirit team to protect me and allow any guidance or messages I may need to come through. I always give them gratitude and thanks for their assistance too. I keep my diary ready for when I wake up to write whatever I remember and then decode the messages, because there can be the most random things. Like, for instance, the other night I had something about eggs and going out in the middle of nowhere and finding eggs and eggs to buy. So again, eggs, what did that symbolize? So for me, that was like new beginnings and new starts, because an egg and it can grow. But there are many different interpretations, but that's just, you know, one fresh example for you. So the egg might not literally just be what it seems to the naked eye. And this is also true for those of you that may see your loved ones in dreams. And these are what I refer to as visitations. And visitations are where they come and visit you, which is super, super special. So never knock it when you get, you know, a vision or a dream of a loved one that is no longer here on the earth plane. That is them on the spirit plane coming to meet you. And I also want to share that by building a relationship with my spirit team personally and asking for their protection while I went to sleep and slept and stating my boundaries with them, I was able to I was able to stop having a sleep paralysis. I used to suffer with that for a very long time. And I think I'm going to do separate videos and topics on that, because it's such a deep kind of, yeah, that's a really deep one. But basically, if you can relate to that, you know, it's pretty traumatic. But it's where I used to be able to, you know, be unable to move, but I was conscious of it happening. And also what I believe that also to be part of is when spirits come into your energy field, and that's when you're more vulnerable. Your energy field is lower and they try to communicate or take our energy or our light, you know, especially if you have the gift of being able to communicate with spirits like mediumship, psychic abilities. They will see your light and some of them will just want to dip in and take from you. So it's really important to protect your energy. I mean, I used to be the same person that would lie there, you know, at night with the cross next to me, praying to God and saying prayers whenever this would happen to make it stop happening. And I was like, hey, God didn't save me. But then when I started understanding spirit and my spirit team, that is when I started to notice a difference. So me taking control with my spirit team and making other lifestyle changes, that really made a difference, you know, life-changing difference. And if you want to share or have any questions at all, you can just drop them in the chat if you're on the live. Now, our senses can also become more heightened. This is another sign that will happen when your senses are becoming more heightened and sharper. And this is so we become more observant and notice their signals. I personally sense so much. Even if someone is behind me and I'm walking along the street, you know, I can easily jump, sounds, noises, sometimes even before it's happened or the person's approached. So I notice it. And if I'm out, I notice the smells and sounds that other people may just dismiss or think, oh, how have you noticed that? But that helps us pick up on energy or other signs that are around us, which is, you know, really, really powerful. And that's, again, a beautiful gift to be able to have. And another sign I love is when you get spiritual chills. And where it can happen is like, it can happen kind of frequently or randomly, or when you hear or sense something that resonates. Don't know if you've ever had it and you feel it go up in you and it's like these chills, or yeah, it's just like a tingle almost, like you may feel it and you're like, what? That is your spiritual chills. They kind of happen for different people in different ways. But yeah, and that can go throughout your body or sometimes just in one part of your body. And it feels like even the goosebumps, you know, like some people even use that saying, walking over your grave. But that can be a sign of your spirit guides reaching out or confirmation from spirit on something. Another thing you may experience is higher levels of intuition. So when your spirit teams deliver information and answers to us via our intuition, which I also call our inner tutor, that's why I always encourage you to learn to trust your intuition, your gut, and even without, you know, logical explanation. If something within you, for example, says you're driving along one morning and it says, hey, take the left turn today, not the right one. And it's just this voice that comes over you or this feeling that may just save you from a delay or an accident, but you have to learn to trust that intuition, and it's building the confidence to trust it. That is your inner tutor, and that is where even if you're having a problem one day or you need help with a work project, or I had it many a times, like when I've been creating things or videos or information to share, and I'm like, what am I going to channel? What am I going to, you know, share today? And sometimes you might just get the answer to your problem pop into your mind without no way of knowing it, but there it was. And now one of my favorite ones I got to share with you. This is a favorite one when spirit will communicate with you or let you know they're around or try and get your attention. It is electrical interference. So electrical disturbances are one of the easiest ways to get our attention and for them to make contact with us. So for me to describe a spirit and us, basically we're on completely different frequencies, right? So it's like a radio station. You have to tune in to be on the same frequency, which, yeah, basically we have to be able to raise our vibration to meet them. So we have to tune into our senses to receive the subtle messages. That is why energetically, medium and psychic work takes a lot of practice, patience and persistence, as we are working with energy and senses that we are often taught to shut down, you know, in the world. And, you know, spirit are on a completely different plane, a completely different vibration to us. So we have to kind of meet somewhere in the middle. So we have to adjust our energy field and our senses, and they have to again work really hard to come through to give us messages and signs and symbols. So for me, when it comes to electrical interferences, oh my gosh, people can vouch for this if I've ever sometimes been around them or been in their house. You know, lights, that's a big one. It's very easy for them to come through and affect electrics. I hope as I'm saying this, please don't ruin my video. So for me, I've had lights randomly flash or go on and off. Like I've got a little light in my kitchen that just flashes. I used to have one by my door inside, and it will just be flashing randomly, or I would actually talk to it and sometimes it will stop flashing or flash more or less, and like there was nothing wrong with my electrics, nothing wrong with the bulb. So, you know, when the logical explanations go out the window, that's when we know, hey, something else is going on here. And yeah, the electrics can play up. Fire alarms in the home may randomly go off, even if they are hardwired and fully working. Example of that is yesterday or the day before that, I went to bed and I did ask my spirit team. I said, look, give me a message, like give me a sign even. And it's a private thing, but I won't say exactly what I asked them, but I did ask for a sign, and I said, like, I want to know the answer to something. And I was very stressed. There was a lot on my mind. And then I was literally woken up, no word of a lie, 3:25 a.m. I even wrote down the times because I'm like, I need to look into this. Within the witching hour, we all know the witching hour, well, I generally say it's between like 3 to 5 a.m, but mainly between 3 and 4, because that is when the veil is thinnest, the world is at its stillest and quietest around us, so it's easier for our spirit team and spirits to come through. And yeah, I was woken at 3:25 a.m. to this alarm going off, and it literally pulsated my heart, and I jumped out of bed and I was like, oh my God, went to grab a towel, and I thought, by the time I then got to the alarm, it had stopped, and I thought, what? So it had me up, and I was tossing and turning, so much running through my mind. I just couldn't, relax back then. Then, again, it was like about 3:50 something in the morning, and then it went off again twice. And I was like, what? So I was like, okay, Spirit are really trying to give me a message right now. They don't want me to go back to sleep. And I mean, I have to laugh because I did ask for a sign, and, sometimes I think they like to say, look, we will give you that sign, that warning, we are here. So I had to basically sit down and write my guidance. I was writing my guidance down, and I just wrote whatever was coming to me, and I just journal, because that way, again, when you start writing, that can be another way messages and guidance can come through. And it did happen again a few years ago, to be honest, and I did when I was in a low place, and again that alarm really did bring my attention back to focus, and it was definitely a sign, and it gets your attention and it makes you stop and think, and that is the purpose of it, is to get our attention. And yeah, so electrics are a really, really powerful one when they happen. Now, another sign I absolutely love that they can give, and again, these things, I don't believe in coincidences, is money. So finding coins, finding notes, has that ever happened to you? Because that is always, I would say, a reminder from Spirit is, are your eyes open? Are you noticing what's around you? Because in this day and age, so many people just walk along in their phones and they're not even aware of what's going on above or below or next to them. So when you do notice these things, I think it's so special and magical. And it's also a reminder from Spirit to value ourselves. And it's their way of letting you know they are with you. And I've had it before, literally walking along, weather was really bad, and I actually let my dog decide which way I was going to walk, and she chose the up this hill bit, and it was set back, there was nobody else around. The weather was windy, rainy, and out of nowhere there was just a fresh £10 note there. I was like, what? So I was like, I couldn't believe it, and I just felt so blessed, and in that moment I genuinely felt like it was my granddad, and he was around and he was sending me a blessing. And I kept that, and I haven't spent it. That anything I find like that, unless I desperately needed to, I keep it in my special sacred stuff and on my altar, because it's a blessing, and it's a reminder you're valued, you are loved, and to value yourself more. And then again, I think it was around a week later, I was walking one morning and there we go again, a £5 note just on the floor waiting for me. I was like, oh my God, again. And you just feel that happiness in that moment. And that is what these signs and confirmations do. They give you that hope and that faith. And many a times I've been around others and we've found coins or change and it just appears to you. Sometimes it wasn't even there. You could be looking, nothing there. A second later and it appears. And you're like, what? How did that happen? That is another one. Now, sometimes going on to that, like, is objects. So they can also use objects to, you know, get your attention and communicate through you. So if you've ever experienced, for example, a book or an object falling off a shelf or been brought to your attention quite dramatically, there could be a sign with that. A few weeks ago, I was just sat here. I wasn't feeling great, to be honest. Then out of nowhere, my cat, she literally decided to start scratching at one particular book on my bookshelf, and she was going crazy at it, like clawing it. Bearing in mind I've had her for a year, like there's like 4 levels to my bookshelf. She's never disturbed the books before, and she was literally going for it, right, and scratching. So I had to stop her before it obviously ruined the book. And then, to no surprise, when I noticed what book it was a book on herbal healing, and I was like, wow, okay, she's trying to show me there's something in here I need to read. And it brought my attention back to that book. And I was like, thank you so much in that moment to her. Because animals do reincarnate as well as our spirit guides and our teachers and our helpers here on earth. And they do channel a lot to us as well. But you just have to be open to it and not dismiss little things like that. Another one I absolutely love is feathers, birds, animal encounters. You know, in these subtle ways, but they are designed to get our attention. So, for example, if you find feathers or they appear out of nowhere to you, or along your journey or along your path, obviously different feathers, different colours have slightly different meanings. And again, with any of this, I would say, you know, if you ever look these things up in books or on the internet, always, like, if that information resonates with you, great. But try and feel into it first and see what that confirmation means for you and how that feels to you, because there's so much information out there, but you have to ultimately find and feel what resonates to you. So, and I often find it's when they kind of appear, when, you know, like there's no other reason for them to, and it does feel very magical. So I was out there once and I met this old lady in the street, and she was really upset actually, and it was a shame because she was such an old lady. And, you know, I started talking with her and just comforting her. And then she went on to tell me, and I could feel this presence around her, a male energy. But then she went on to tell me that it was actually her husband's 6th year anniversary of passing. And I'm not lying to you, out of nowhere behind her, this white feather literally fell from the sky. Like, you had to see it to believe it. And I had to point it out to her, and she couldn't believe it either. And when I showed her, she then said someone else had actually told her before about feathers having that meaning. And she kept the feather, and I knew straight away instantly she was so much more comforted, and she felt the love that he was around her. And that was obviously her partner's way of sending her that love in. So I just thought, how beautiful was that? And you know, when we see signs like that, or you could be on your way to an appointment or meeting someone, or you might just, something may appear on your path, never underestimate those signs. Birds as well, I'm really connected to animals and birds, but you know, birds I will always find appear in strange ways, or they come closer than they normally would to anyone else. They may appear at your windows, loads of different ones, but robins especially. Robins are one of my favourite, and I always know when I see a robin, I always either know it's my granddad or a loved one with me for sure. And I've had it before where I could be sat really still and they will do things that they wouldn't normally do. So they will come up like extra close towards me, or they'll do something to get your attention. So it's super, super incredible to see that. So always be looking out for things like with your animals, because that is really special, and the way they will appear. Or sometimes, again, I've seen random deers before where you just wouldn't ever expect to see them, and no one else seemed to notice them. So it all depends how it feels and appears to you. Now, one of my other favourite ones, as you all know, because I do a lot of numerology on my page too, is numbers and number patterns. And this is another way they will communicate with you. So again, if you see number patterns, it might be on the clocks, on number plates, the time and stuff on your phone, your dates. Maybe someone just calls you and it's 11:11. Maybe you just notice it's 22:22 or 00. Like whatever that pattern may be, again, you can look into those messages and feel into those messages and see what those angelic meanings are behind that, because that is another way they love to communicate. Songs on the radio, you know, maybe you were just looking for the answer and you suddenly turn on the radio and there we go, that song appears. That's another way things come through. And I'm going to share a little funny one with you, but just to show as well, like the universe and everything is connected and synchronicities. Now, a friend of mine, you know, a while ago, she did tell me a little funny thing that she'd been going out and in nature she noticed condom wrappers, okay guys? And you know, this is a bit strange because the places she go are really normally clean and well kept up. You know, in years of going out, she just never noticed it. And it's not anything she'd seen before. And it did stand out to her. Now, most of us would take that as a sign of like, okay, that probably means maybe you need to look at your contraception or be cautious, or, you know, or maybe you're planning on having a child. Anyway, and then a few weeks later, she literally found out she was pregnant. So there we go. And Spirit was clearly sending a message of that to her. And she does laugh obviously now about it after realizing it. But sometimes the sign can be so boom in your face, or maybe in relationships you've had it and, you know, signs have come across, or, you know, maybe a sign of cheating or infidelity or something, and that there'll be a sign, or it could be something so smack bang in your face. But maybe at the time you didn't notice, and then you look back on it and you're like, wow, actually, there was a message in that, you know? So these are just some examples I'm sharing with you to show that, you know, the universe communicates with us in magical ways, and it can happen in so many ways. And I want to hear other people's experiences on this. So if you want to share any of yours, you can leave it in the comments, you know, or if there's anything that's happened and you've never been sure, you can always ask me to. I would love to hear. And I just want to encourage you to build a connection with your own spirit team, and don't be afraid to ask them for a sign, and always ask from your heart and for your highest good, you know, and think about what type of sign you would want and understand. So, you know, would you want it in the form of an animal symbol? Would you want it in the form of like a message or a sound or something very abrupt and noticeable? So there's different ways. Think about that. Think about what you're going to be comfortable receiving. And when you ask, be open, as Spirit will do their best to communicate with you, and state if you need a sign in a certain time frame. You know, like there was one I read about in a book, and this woman wanted to know if this man was, you know, meant for her. Was he her soulmate? She was driving along and she said out of nowhere this car cut her up on a main road, and it was the exact black Lexus, the exact same number plate, literally the same year, and that was his car. And she literally asked him, within 5 minutes she received that. So that was her way of knowing, yes, confirmation. So if you need it, you know, if you're in a really desperate situation and you need a sign in a quick amount of time, or if you say, look, within 3 days I want to have received this sign, you know, show me an eagle in the sky, or, you know, do I take this new job? You know, whatever your message, your guidance is you're seeking, you can ask them. So be prepared and be open-minded, you know, because that's the best way to get it. And the sign may come in an unexpected way, because Spirit won't always do it how you want it. That's another thing, you know. So, you know, they may just send it you. It could be an advert on the TV, song on the radio. It could be a conversation with a stranger you have. It may appear on the internet, or even when you're out, you know. Signs and symbols, they are everywhere, so it all depends on how we interpret it. And as I always say, we all have our own unique lens in life, and we all view things differently. So it just depends. We're all going to view and see these things in a different way. There's no right or wrong way. But most of the time, signs from Spirit will feel good and rewarding, and you may even get the chills or that joyful feeling from the signs. Then, you know, the signs shouldn't be there to scare you. It's like that, almost like alerting, and you'll feel that magic energy, and it's like, wow. So that is just some of the ways you can tune into that, and some of the ways they may then communicate with you. So just be open to it, you know, because signs are everywhere. Gosh, I could probably write a whole book on it, the amount over the years I've had different signs and messages. So you know, and I'm always looking, and I always look into the deeper meaning of things, because that's just the kind of person I am. I love that depth, and I love to learn. And as well, sometimes when the physical world fails us, or humans fail us, when we know that we have a spirit team to turn to and to support us, and that they are there communicating with us, even though it's not the same as maybe this direct conversation, for example, I'm having with you, it's another way, but we have to adapt our senses to tune into that. So yes, I want to thank you for watching. You know, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. And if there is anyone now who's on my live, if you would like a card reading, if you have a little question, or you just like some guidance, if there is a particular card deck you are drawn to, you can just drop in the comments. Let me know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And let me know if you would like a message, and I can see what message Spirit has for you, and they want a channel for your highest good to come out. So let me know. Let me get my chat up actually, so I can check the chat. Okay, yes, Maya, okay, fabulous. Is there a particular deck that you're drawn to for a message? Just gonna give it a few minutes on here, because I don't know if the delay is a little bit longer. Which deck are you drawn to, honey? Pink. Ooh, is that the top one? Is that the top pink ones? I'm guessing it is. I'm gonna intuitively go, because they're kind of purple. So let's get these out and give these a nice shuffle. And it's no coincidence if you have gone for these pink ones, because we've just been talking about, you know, the animal messages and symbols, and these are actual angel animal oracle cards. Okay, now is there a particular question, or do you just want to see what comes out for you? Is there anything in particular you want any guidance on? I'm just giving these a good shuffle. That one fell out already, so I'm keeping that down there. Just the month ahead. Okay, so for the month ahead, what does Maya most need now? What message for her highest vibrational good for this month ahead? What message does Spirit want to share with her for her highest good? Right, I think there's going to be a couple for you. I'm not even going to lie to you. There may just be a couple of messages in here, which I'm going to tune into for you. Now, I shuffle mine in a way where I just allow what wants to come out, but if you also want to tell me when to stop or anything, you can. No, it's done, the 3 have come out. Right, your first card that came out, let me have a look at this. Wow, this is a really interesting one for you. You got the meditation card. Now this shows to me, as I read this for you, so this is based in water, and these are koi fish. Yeah, koi carp, they're called. Now this shows to me the water energy. So there is emotion. So there is some emotion that's been swirling around here. Now, there's 3 things on here. So you're moving closer to something and further away from something else. Now this meditation is guiding you to take some time to meditate today, and to find that place of calm and serenity that you're craving. So your koi totem brings you the opportunity for transformation through altered states of mind, and it is the gift of fantasy and dreams that come true. Now this is a really good time for you to have faith and dream big. So it wants you to hold on to your dreams. It wants you to hold on to that faith and keep faith, but to regularly set time aside to meditate so you can access that information that will come through your intuition and from your spirit team as we've been talking about them. And I can just feel there's this push from them that's really wanting to connect with you and let you know that they are there with you, helping and guiding you. But I do feel there are some emotions here that it does feel slightly calm, but there may be an emotion here to do with another person that is a bit unsettled, and that I think you may need some clarity to either move forward with or to process your own emotions around that situation. So that was your first card that came out. So be kind with yourself, be gentle, and give yourself that time to meditate, because I can guarantee you now, if you get into a habit of regularly meditating and regularly connecting and building that connection with your spirit team, you will go to some amazing places and receive some amazing guidance, honestly. That is your first card. Now, the second card that came out for you, wow, I love this one as well. You got the Horse card here, and this is about passion. So I guess this is asking you to see where your energy is at the moment, and where are you focusing your energy, and where do you want to go? Because if we look as well about that, the direction to me that horse is moving is in a forward direction. So it's moving forwards. So it's asking you to tune into your passion, get a glimpse of that true essence of your freedom in your life with your horse spirit at your side. And you are strong. This is a reminder for you. You are strong. And you can carry on over the roughest roads and toughest obstacles. And you have the drive and passion and energy not to give up. So this is really, really special to you. You know, I feel like, especially with it being a white kind of horse here, that there has been some really difficult times you've been through, but you've always got yourself through them, and you've kept moving and you keep moving forwards. And again, this month, again, you asked for this month, and that's not to lose your passion and energy and not to give up. So to keep focusing on what you want in your life, and that, remember, you're moving in that right direction to achieve that. Ooh, that one fell down, but yes. Now, I love this one as well. And this was your third card that came out. Here we go. And I just love the image on this one. It's a beautiful swan. And this is your feminine grace. And if we look carefully at the swan, it's like reflection of yourself. So I feel that there may be some shadow work you want to do, or work in a mirror and looking into yourself and tuning into your own energy, because you are your greatest mirror. You know, you have those answers within you. And again, we've got that water energy. So I really feel like there's some emotions there that need shifting or moving or transmuting. I would probably actually advise you as well with some energy healing. I think that would be really helpful to you, because I sense a really strong kind of spiritual energy around you, and you have very strong abilities. And I actually really feel like you would actually make a really amazing healer. I'm really sensing that with you. And that may be even in the sense like with animals, some healing there with animals, or even with people in some way. But I'm sensing that. But with this swan, the message is follow the swan to find new ways of thinking, breathing, and going with the flow. And she's asking you that you pay attention to your feminine intuition, hunches, and gut instincts. It's funny, we've been talking about that intuition again in the video. So it wants you to tune into that. Remember your inner grace and beauty and let it shine forth for those around you to see. So again, stepping into your feminine energy, who you are. Don't hold that back from the world. Like, go in, because this is you. Don't hold it back from anyone. And again, with your intuition, really learn to trust that. You see that mirror there? Trusting yourself and feeling into that. Are these messages resonating for you, by the way, Maya? Just let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm also looking into this card, and I'm also seeing that sunlight in the background, and I feel like you're definitely needing more sun energy. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've just got the messages come through on there that you said about. That's great to hear. But yeah, you need more sun energy. You need a bit more fire. And that might come in the form of actually sunbathing, literally allowing sun onto your body and your solar plexus chakra to fire you up and to, you know, lift your energy. That will, I think, would be incredible for you. And maybe even taking a break, having some time away somewhere, because that will allow you to come out of your normal routine and into a new energy and to feel and see things in a different way. But I know for you this year, I can really feel it, really strong spiritual energy, and there will be a lot of change, but I think a lot of that will be internal changes. And yeah, the divine feminine, I think that's going to be a big topic for you at the moment, tuning into that divine feminine energy. And with that spiritual feeling I get from you is once you start really going and trusting your intuition and your guts, I feel like you'll have very strong psychic abilities come through too, strong intuition, strong premonitions, and you'll be able to use that in your daily life that will really, really be able to help you. So I hope those messages make sense for you. Just give you a little recap of your cards here. You have the meditation card, got your passion card, and your feminine grace. So those beautiful messages for you. So I really hope they help you with the month to come. And remembering as well that next month, as we step into June is a universal 4 month, okay? And 4, I associate that 4 energy is connected to our heart chakra. So that is healing our heart chakra, healing our love in our life, our compassion, our empathy with others, and also looking at where we may have been hurt in our hearts or hurt by others, processing some of these deep emotions, you know, and setting ourselves free of those. Great time for healing as well, in a 4 month. So yeah, I will be bringing you guys some more videos. I hope those messages resonated. I hope you love them. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate you, and I hope this video can reach as many people as possible. I think when I do another live again, I may plan it a bit more in advance, and the more I think I start coming on my channel, you know, people will know I'm here, and I love sharing some guidance and blessings with people. It's so my calling, and I love doing it. So sending you all love, light, and healing out to you all, and good vibes and prosperity for your life. Thank you, Queen. Appreciate you. So yes, thank you everyone. Keep open minds, keep open hearts. Allow that love to flow and allow the spirit to flow through you and within you and into your life. So thank you so much. Take care. Lots of love.